Now, when I say hold on to, maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. $76,000 a year is going to have to cover their food, their utilities, their gas. The average American family, by the USDA report for 2007, spent $543,000, $543,100 a month on groceries. Comes out to $6,500 a year, a little north of that. Their average utilities, from another article, was a little north of $2,500 a year. The average gas for traveling, this was when gas was, if you held gas at a constant $3 per gallon, the average American family would incur $4,000 of traveling expenses. Throw those all together, we arrive around $14,000. That brings you down to $62,000. Now here's my issue. $250,000 income brings you down to $62,000 if you are the average American family incurring the average American family expenses. This $62,000 is going to have to cover a husband and wife for anything that may go wrong. These were the basic bills. These were not including anything that might go wrong, any accidents, any unforeseen expenses. $62,000. That has to cover all those expenses. That also has to go into these people's retirement. That also has to pay for their health insurance. Because they're not gonna get subsidized. They're not gonna get on this free ride. These people are going to get raped by this new plan. Completely taken advantage of. I don't understand how people don't see this. Now, I'll give them this. Most people don't make this much money. I understand that. But you need to understand that that is why you don't mind the fact that these people will be paying for the uninsured. What do they keep saying? 47 million people? That's not even that, because the other thing that I didn't even bring up yet is that back in, I think it also was 2007, the estimated illegal aliens in this country were between 12 and 16 million. If you want to, all the stuff that's gone on since, I mean, these people now know that if they don't escape these countries where they're not doing well, and come to this where they might have a shot, sooner or later, and it seems to coming up pretty fast, there's going to be strict immigration laws passed. Some of the estimated numbers now put it around, 16 to 20 million. So you can take that 40 million and you can shove it, because half of that is due to illegal aliens. Now, I'm not saying they don't belong here. In all honesty, the people who do say that, you don't want to do the job that these people take, so why are you complaining? What I am going to say is, not that I'm obviously for them coming here and getting the work as much as they want. I'm not for paying for their expenses while they're here illegally. It's ridiculous. Now, people still might say, okay, well that still leaves 25 million people unaccounted for. 25 million people in a country of 300 million and growing. Now, if you want to look at why we have 25 million people uninsured, why don't you try to go compare the numbers of people on welfare? Chances are they're not spending that check on their insurance, on good insurance. Even if the state's covering that, who knows how much they're covering it. Let's be smart, people. Now, a country that puts so much emphasis on going to college and becoming educated and making the most of yourself, why don't you show me that it means something? Show me that you use that education that you got. And do a little common sense thinking. These people, because they did well in their field, are going to have to pay for the people who didn't. For the people who didn't, not that they just didn't do well, for the people who didn't go out for it. For the people who didn't really apply themselves. Again, I have to bring up the fact that I am not trying to marginalize all of those people. Again, it can't be ignored that a large number of that probably is due, a large number, I'm referring to the uninsured, those are current numbers that they're trying to give. Those are estimates, first of all. And a large number of that is probably from the enormous increase in unemployment. If you don't have a job, you can't afford your health insurance. Your insurance will drop you. It's amazing that the media is not making I mean, I'm sure in their private life they are making these connections, but to not put these to the forefront and educate the common public that this is going on, that here's probably where you can see these expenses adding up, or this number of uninsured adding up. It's flat out irresponsible, first of all. Secondly, it's unethical. It's completely unethical. The fact that you are going to call yourself a reporter and say that that you're for the people, or that you're trying to get the news across to these people who desperately need it, you're twisting the truth through the most ridiculous the most ridiculous channels you can. It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling. The thing that I can't ignore when talking about the media's coverage of all of this is Fox News, of all people. Now, I'm sure it has a lot to tie in with the fact that Fox is so right. But you also have the other, I mean, to be fair, you have the people who are so left as well. So you have Fox, and you have, we'll just leave them unnamed, MSNBC. And this is getting only the divide is only growing as this whole debate goes on. And the funny thing is that Fox had ridiculous claims to so many political points before this. And this is finally something that they actually have to latch on to, that their opinions matter on, that their opinions are relevant. Because looking at these numbers, and the people on the right are the ones, you know, who are getting marginalized, or rather the people who make this are getting marginalized, that they're the people on the right. So Fox is taking it upon themselves to speak for these people. But thank God someone is, because if not, let me just tell you, we're heading towards bankruptcy if we don't. Because I don't know if maybe anyone's already suggested this, but if I graduate from my college, which will be in the next few years, if I graduate and I start out making anything significant, you better believe that I'm probably going to look for the same job, or maybe I'll even look before I take a job here, elsewhere in the world. Because I'm not going to sit around and put in all this time and have my parents pay all this money just for me to go make my income so that I can pay for, you know, Mary Jo, whatchamacallit, down in Georgia, to just basically sit around and get free healthcare off of my paycheck, or a portion of my paycheck. It's just not going to happen.